Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Deep Thoughts. And today we are talking about Given Episode 9, A Winter Story. But hey, before we begin though, I do want to say a quick thank you to those of you who shared last week's video over on Twitter, namely at The First Evil, at Morgan Romero, at SassySimone125, at Big Boy, at Nikami Hime, and at Nacho Gashardo. Thanks so much for sharing last week's video, you guys. It is super appreciated, and if you too would like to have your name shouted out in next week's Given video, be sure to share this video around on the internet and then tag me at JoJo Talks Too Much over on Twitter, and I will be sure to shout your name out in next week's video. Okay, with that said, allow me to just say, I know what you guys want to talk about. I want to talk about it too, but as always, we're going to tackle this thing one element at a time, typically going from the start of the episode to the end. So just stick with me. We got some stuff to talk about before we talk about that moment of the episode. But it's just, believe me, I'm happy too, okay? I'm happy too. I get it. We're all excited. But just like, keep it together for a little bit. Let's take this episode apart. Let's go ahead and start with the broken string right off the top. Now, once again, it is Haruki to the rescue, okay? Haruki is the mama bear of the band, like without a doubt. Immediately sees the situation, assesses what's wrong, picks out who's gonna do what, and then gets the ball rolling. Immediate, right? Haruki's just like, okay, so this has happened before, it's all good. Sato, do you have an extra string? No, okay. Well then UENOYAMA, you're gonna go run and get another string and then you're gonna fix the guitar. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, go do the thing. UENOYAMA is hesitant for a second until Haruki reminds him like, aren't you the one who fixed his string in the first place? Isn't that how you two met? Like just fix the strings, it's fine, everything's fine, you're freaking out. And UENOYAMA is of course on the inside like, remembering how they got here. And the poor dude is just immediately feels awful about what just happened. So he runs out to the store. And it is definitely symbolic. Like the whole fixing the broken guitar strings. You could layer symbolism of like symbolic messages upon this scene like there's no tomorrow. Like obviously for UENOYAMA, it's symbolic of how the band needs each other, how they all fix each other and make each other better. For Sato, it could be fixing his heart. It's pretty clear cut. Like when you see it, you're like, okay, like the fixing broken guitar strings is very clearly like symbolism for fixing each other as people. Very obvious symbolism, but at the same time, it's subtle enough that if you didn't pick up on it, you wouldn't notice. I applaud them for that. It didn't feel too like dink, you know? It didn't feel like too on the nose. It felt appropriate, and I really friggin' liked it. You guys know me. I like my symbolism. But moving on, we gotta quickly talk about UENOYAMA's run through the city. Like this was a cheesy rom-com in its third act as UENOYAMA runs through the streets trying to get to his love. And I have to give a big shout out to my boy, whose name is escaping me right now, the glasses man. Why can't I remember his name? He's like my favorite side character and I can't remember his name. He's my like he doesn't get enough shine, this character. He's there and then he's just gone. He's clearly the unsung hero of not only this episode, but of most of the show, because without Glasses Guy, there would be no show for our band to play at. Without Glasses Guy, that they would have been screwed. They would have missed their set if him and the band did not step up immediately when Haruki asked for 2 or 3 more songs. That's tense, by the way. If somebody asks you offhand, like, can you please do 2 or 3 more songs that you probably didn't practice for? And I'm sure Glasses Guy doesn't even hesitate either. He's just like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Like, he just interprets what Haruki's saying, doesn't say it out loud, he just kind of nods at him, and then they do 3 more songs because that's what they asked for. Glasses Guy deserves more love. He even asked them at the end of the show, which, again, we'll get to as we go, but even asking the gang at the end, like, where did you find this kid? Like, he's really good. Glasses Guy, unsung hero of Given. Name is escaping me. I'm sure people are gonna let me know in the comments, but I don't read that, so tell me over on Twitter. And moving on, we gotta talk about UENOYAMA's full sprint back, like I said, as though he were in a rom-com. This man goes run with the wind style on this, just sprinting back to the love of his life. He clearly has like the weight of the world on his shoulders because he feels responsible for Sato's like breaking, not only breaking his guitar strings, but also Sato's current state of mind. and it weighs heavy on him, so much so that we get this really good song that plays in the background as he's running through the street. I would love to know the name of that track that plays. Just a brilliantly handled scene, great emotion, great soundtrack, just friggin' stellar. And UENOYAMA does make it back with just enough time to calm down. just enough time to fix the strings, calm Sato down, calm himself down, and let Haruki and Kaji have the most intense conversation the two have had in a while. Haruki even points out to Kaji that this is essentially like a death flag moment, because he even says like, why are you giving me a death flag speech right now? And Kaji's like, am I gonna die? But it's true. This moment between them, to me, cements like, okay, I don't know if they're end game, but there's very clearly a relationship that is gonna happen here. Just by the way that these two speak to each other. It's intense. I don't... See, I'm torn now, right? Because I was all about Kaji and Haruki at the beginning. But now with Yugetsu, I don't know if Kaji's in a relationship already, or if he's just like sort of friends with Yugetsu, and if Haruki even knows about like any of this. I doubt it. And just like, I don't know, like the whole like, hey man, I just want to thank you for always having my back, and you've saved my ass so many times, you don't even know. And when he says like, this is about the band, he's like, no, like this is personal. And it's like, what is your relationship, Kaji? Why you gotta be complicated? Why you gotta give me these emotions, I didn't ask for this. I mean, I did, but like, why is it gotta hurt? Why is it gotta hurt? Why is it gotta hurt so good, you know? Ugh. Okay, and we gotta move on. We gotta move on because I know people want to get to two particular moments. We're almost there. Before we do, though, we have to fix Sato's strings on his guitar, leading, again, into heavy metaphors. I already talked about them. I'm not gonna go into them again. But it does emphasize just how much the band truly needs each other. Like, Kaji needs Haruki. Haruki needs Kaji. Kaji needs UENOYAMA. UENOYAMA needs Kaji. Haruki needs UENOYAMA. UENOYAMA needs Haruki. And they all need Sato, and Sato needs every single one of them. They all really do fix each other in the same way that UENOYAMA is fixing the guitar strings. Like, the band makes each other better, helps each other grow. And I think that scene is illustrated really well when they're fixing the guitar strings, especially the idea of not being able to put into words what they want to say to each other, which of course is echoing Sato's entire character arc. And yes, I know I keep saying Sato. I'm sorry. I'm old habit now. I just can't break it. But let us move on to the big moment. Well, to a big moment, and that is showtime. It's finally time for the band to play the song. Now, admittedly, this surprised me because I wasn't expecting the band to actually play the song or even just play the show at all until the next episode. I figured we'd get episode 10 would be the big song, and then episode 11 would be the wrap up for this season. I'm hoping that I'm putting emphasis on this season because I want more than what we just got. But still, this season, that's what I figured anyway. But no, the band plays a song here, and they play their whole set from what I gather. And it was interesting because I noticed right away, I'm like, Sato didn't move the mic. The mic didn't move. Sato's in front of the mic. He's going to sing. He's definitely going to sing, and my boy sang. He sang with the voice of an angel. Oh my goodness. And listen. I am not ashamed to admit that Sato's song kind of got me to cry. Okay, like, listen. We've been waiting for the song for a long time, and we haven't heard Sato sing in a while. Like, it's been a long time, so I had almost forgotten what Sato's singing voice even sounded like at this point. So, to me, hearing him sing was such a shock to my system, because I had forgotten how damn good he sings, but also just the fact that it had all been leading up to this moment, and I was so sure that he was going to back out or something like that, that Sato wasn't ready, and I wasn't going to blame him. He's gone through a lot. If he doesn't want to sing, the boy doesn't have to sing. But he just belts it out, and the lyrics, at least the ones translated by Crunchyroll, and the voice alone, if I didn't have the lyrics, I would still be able to feel this man's emotions through this song. It is so well done. The song itself is so good, and it got me emotional, especially when the flashback started kicking in and we started seeing all the memories of Sato and Yuki, and the boy finally found the words to express himself, and I'm getting emotional again just thinking about it. But it's such a good scene. Also, I'm pretty sure they showed like either the midst of or the aftermath of them doing the horizontal hustle. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure I saw it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like it. Either way, the Sato and Yuki ship is strong. And the crowd went nuts. I was so relieved that the crowd got emotional too. The crowd started like crying and stuff. You get to even saying like, this kid is blessed with natural talent. I've seen this before. I know this. I am this. I recognize my own kind. That kid has natural talent. And I was like, whoa, compliments from the man himself. And I would say that this scene was perfect. Except, yeah, okay, let's talk about it, because I'm sure other people are probably going to bring it up. CG! Yeah, parts of this were CG, and I don't really care, if at all. Don't get me wrong, I noticed, right? I wouldn't be talking about it right now if I didn't notice, but I did. However, CG in anime is a tricky thing, because in some cases, it can really take me out of a show. Looking at you, Berserk. But in other cases, especially given that it's not the entirety of the show, if the whole show was bad CG, then like, yeah, maybe I'd have a more difficult time watching Given. But it's normally a 2D show, and it only really busts at the 3D when it feels like it has to, in particular for musical sections or the instruments themselves. I do wish that they kept everybody 2D with the instruments being 3D instead of the whole band being 3D, but I get it, especially for the wide shots. I understand why it looks that way. It never took me out, but it never looked great either. It was either just good or passable. So I have to give it a knock for that. The CG did catch my attention, right? I was like really feeling the emotions, all misty-eyed, and then I went, oh, that's weird looking CG, but I'm too moved to care. So that's pretty much my quick dismissive comment on the CG, because I'm sure people are gonna have words about it. That's basically all I think about it. I don't think much of it. Yeah, it wasn't the best looking CG ever, but friggin' neither did Zombieland Saga, and y'all love Zombieland Saga so much, and friggin' Love Live and all that, so like, bleh, okay? Like, yes, CG is in music anime. It's a thing. It gets better with every music anime. It's fine. I think it looked just fine. I didn't really have an issue with it. And I am brushing it off, mostly so I can talk about the post-show section of this video, of this episode, this whatever. I'm at a loss for words because they guessed!
My God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
Oh my God, I was not expecting that. To quote the doctor, I was not expecting this. I don't have words. Should have sent poet. I guess we can start with Sato, like, grabbing onto UENOYAMA and just saying, like, thank you for getting me this far. And they admit that they love each other at this point. And, like, we knew UENOYAMA loved Sato. That wasn't a question. But Sato loving UENOYAMA, it was either he loves him for sure, or there's mixed emotions there. Now we know for sure that he loves him, which is like, yay, it's such a relief. But the kiss still shocked the hell out of me. I don't know why it shocked me. I think it just shocked me because I wasn't expecting it in that moment in particular. So it really was like, whoa, holy cow. But at the same time, it was the perfect moment when I think of, like, in that moment, I wasn't thinking about it until it happened. Looking back on it after the episode is over, I'm like, yeah, of course that's how you wrap up that scene. That's, of course. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. The ship sailed. The ship sails itself. UENOYAMA and Sato are the best couple of this season. They could possibly be one of my favorite couples of the year. Yes, I'm serious. Friggin' fight me. Debate me in the ring, bro. Actually, don't, because I ship it, and ships are pretty subjective, so I don't really care. But, like, yeah, man. Oh my God. That kiss was perfect. That whole scene was perfect. Everything about that moment was perfect. Everything from this moment forward is just brilliant. The whole episode was brilliant, but that scene in particular, I was like, yes, yes, thank you. And it didn't feel fan servicey either. It felt appropriate. It felt so appropriate for that moment. Yes. Okay, so I'm going way over time, so I'm gonna quickly wrap up the rest of this. I wanted to talk a little bit more about this, especially the Yuki and Hiragi scene, but I'm gonna quickly wrap up my thoughts so that this video doesn't go too long. Hiragi giving his blessing was super appreciated. I loved that. Thank you, my boy Hiragi, stepping up in a big way. Love this character. Also, the post-credit scene, the date to the beach. The humming song, that was actually Sato the whole time. I thought for sure it was going to be like a song that Yuki wrote for Sato, but it was Sato humming that inspired Yuki maybe to write a song, or I don't know. But like, Sato started humming it, Yuki started humming it because Sato hummed it, and then Sato just kept humming it as a way to remember Yuki. And it also explains why Sato went to the beach, since they go on the date on the beach, and the whole topic of forgetting over time comes up. And this is a very human fear from Sato and Yuki. Like the idea that you might remember this tomorrow. You'll probably remember this tomorrow. You may remember this a year from now. You might just remember it 5 years from now, but do you really think you're gonna remember today 10 years from now? It's a very human fear, and it really, really adds a new layer to the Sato-Yuki relationship. And yeah, that's basically all my thoughts on this week's episode. Needless to say, it's getting a strong grade of A. Now that might surprise you. I wanted to give it an S so bad, and in my heart, it's an S. But the CG though, so I don't know. But in my heart, it's an S. But hey, before we go, as always, I have to give a big shout out to the good folks over on Patreon, namely those in the Earl Grey tier: Calvin Atkinson, Crowbar of Irony, Dominic, Urza, No For Nothing, Maria Teresa, Mirth Mouser, Nye, Omnigaramond, Opinionated Slime, Cell, Shadow Creative, Sipco Games, Somastan, Tristan, and Veridin. Thank you guys so much for supporting me over on Patreon, and if you too would like to join the T Squadron, then by all means go ahead and check out the Patreon link in the description. Go ahead and check out all the cool rewards you can get over there, as well as access to our Patreon exclusive Discord. But on that note, everybody, that's gonna be a video, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then you've probably been on the internet long enough to know what to do already, so I ain't gonna tell you, but I will say that it is appreciated. And if you're feeling stressed out today, you go have yourself a warm cup of tea, and I will talk to you all again real soon.